You are not weak, you are just comfortable. You are not incapable, you are just unwilling. The truth is, you could do far more than you ever imagined, but you have been tricked into believing that life is about staying safe, staying average, staying hidden in the shadows. Push yourself until everything becomes possible. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for someone to save you. If you are waiting, you are dying. When you wake up in the morning, the voice that says stay in bed is the same voice that will bury your dreams alive. Do not negotiate with that voice. Crush it. Override it. Step into pain before the pain of regret hunts you down. Do you want to know why the world feels impossible? Because you've never met the version of yourself that refuses to quit. You've never pushed far enough to meet the warrior that lives inside you. That version of you is waiting. Not in comfort, not in excuses, but on the other side of struggle. Push yourself when your body says stop. Push yourself when your mind says no. Push yourself when everyone else has already surrendered. Because possibility does not belong to the gifted, the chosen, or the lucky. Possibility belongs to the relentless. Every day you choose surrender or conquer. Most people surrender before the fight even begins. They never try, so they never discover. You are not like most people. You were not born to live quiet. You were not born to die with your song still trapped inside your chest. Possibility is not given. It is carved out of pain, sacrifice, and obsession. You want an easy life, then watch your dreams rot. You want a life of meaning, then burn your excuses and make yourself unrecognizable to the person you are today. Push yourself until everything is possible, because one day you will die. One day the final hourglass will empty, and your chance will vanish. That day is coming faster than you want to believe. What will you say then? That you wasted your chance? That you were too tired, too scared, too busy scrolling your life away? No, that cannot be your story. Your story must be, I pushed until the impossible bowed down before me. I pushed until my weakness became my strength. I pushed until the world had no choice but to witness my fire. Remember this, the limit is not real. The wall is not solid. The cage is not locked. It is you who must break through. Possibility is waiting, but it does not wait forever. Get up, go, fight, bleed, rise, push yourself until everything is possible. One comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the silent poison that eats away at potential because nothing extraordinary is born from the warmth of ease and softness. It may feel safe, but it slowly strangles the hunger inside you. While convincing you that mediocrity is enough, greatness never comes from staying where you are. It comes from stretching, from breaking, from burning through the limits that your comfort zone protects. The chair feels good, the bed feels better, but the grave will feel colder when you realize you never truly lived. Comfort whispers that you deserve rest before you've earned it. Comfort tells you tomorrow is a better day to start. Comfort numbs you into believing that small effort is enough. When your destiny demands fire, comfort is disguised as peace. But it is a trap. It locks you in invisible chains and you start mistaking stillness for progress. The truth is progress is always uncomfortable. Progress always hurts. Progress demands sweat, tears, and broken boundaries. Comfort is the enemy of growth because growth only exists in resistance. If a muscle is never torn, it never expands. If a mind is never challenged, it never sharpens. If a soul is never tested, it never awakens. The tree that grows in perfect conditions collapses under the first storm, but the tree that fights the wind grows roots so deep it cannot be moved. Comfort blinds you to your power because it keeps you from touching the edge where real strength is born. You will never know your capacity until you step into the fire of difficulty. Comfort creates illusions of safety, but nothing is safe about wasting your life in smallness. Safety is an illusion because time is still taking from you. While you sit still, comfort is the slow death of warriors. The graveyard is filled with dreams murdered by comfort. How many people could have been legends but chose to stay where it felt easy? How many souls carried unfulfilled visions because they were too afraid to be broken? Comfort keeps you asleep while opportunity is knocking. Comfort is a thief dressed as a friend telling you to relax when destiny is calling you to rise. When you feel pain, that is life demanding your evolution. When you feel fear, That is life showing you the path you must take when you feel resistance. That is proof you are in the territory of growth. The very thing that scares you is the doorway to transformation. The very thing that feels uncomfortable is the seed of power. Your body resists training, your mind resists discipline, your spirit resists risk. But these are the exact battles that build kings and queens. You must choose discomfort deliberately. You must run toward the struggle. You must embrace the friction, because that is the only place where real life begins. Comfort is the enemy of growth because it feeds weakness, it feeds procrastination, it feeds doubt. And every moment you give in, you train yourself to surrender. Every time you choose comfort, you bury your potential deeper and deeper until one day it becomes unreachable. Comfort convinces you to stop when you still have strength. Comfort convinces you to slow down when you should be accelerating. Comfort convinces you to stay small when the world is waiting for your raw. Comfort is dangerous because it does not hurt immediately, it hurts later. When the years pass and your reflection asks, why didn't you try? Why didn't you push? Why didn't you rise? Comfort kills silently, without noise, without violence, without scars, but it kills none. The less growth is violent, growth is chaotic, growth is demanding, but it gives birth to life, it gives birth to greatness, it gives birth to a version of you that you have never met. Comfort keeps you married to the weakest parts of yourself, while growth introduces you to the warrior within. You will never meet that warrior in comfort. You will never awaken your highest self by avoiding difficulty. Growth is waiting on the other side of sacrifice, and you cannot steal it. You must earn it. Every legend was forged in discomfort. Every empire was built in sleepless nights. Every champion was carved by pain. They chose the harder road while the rest of the world sat in comfort. Comfort will not clap for you. Comfort will not make you proud. Comfort will not make you remembered. You will not inspire anyone by staying soft. You will not change lives by staying comfortable. Your children, your family, your people. Your world does not need another person hiding in comfort. They need someone willing to bleed for growth. Someone willing to walk through fire, someone willing to do what is required, not what is easy. Comfort is the enemy of growth because it offers you nothing but wasted potential and regret. And once you see this truth, you cannot go back. You must despise comfort. You must treat it as the greatest obstacle in your path. You must learn to walk into the storm and smile, because the storm is your teacher, the storm is your builder, the storm is your transformation. Comfort is not where you belong. Discomfort is your birthplace. Discomfort is where you discover what you are made of. Discomfort is the gift that delivers greatness, and only those who embrace it will ever taste the impossible. 2. The voice of excuses must be silent. The voice of excuses must be silenced, because every excuse you allow to live inside your mind becomes a weapon used against your own destiny. Excuses are not harmless, they are killers disguised as reasons. They sound logical. They sound protective, they sound like they care for you, but every excuse is a thief robbing you of strength, courage, and transformation. The voice of excuses speaks softly, but its impact is violent. It says you are too tired, it says you don't have time, it says you are not ready, it says tomorrow will be better, but tomorrow is just another lie repeated forever, until your life is over. Excuses never run out, they multiply, they grow like weeds, choking every seed of greatness inside you. The more you listen, weaker you become. The more you obey, the more powerless you feel, because excuses are chains made of thoughts, invisible but unbreakable unless you fight back. The voice of excuses is the most dangerous enemy you will ever face. Not the world, not other people, not even failure, because failure teaches you, but excuses deceive you. Failure gives you truth, but excuses feed you poison. Failure shows you what to fix, but excuses convince you there is nothing to fix. Failure moves you forward, but excuses trap you in the same place forever. That voice inside your head is not your friend, it is the prison guard that wants you to remain ordinary. It is the whisper of mediocrity that keeps you soft. It is the enemy of action, because it knows that if you act it dies, if you rise it disappears, if you push forward it loses control. Every excuse is an invitation to quit. And every time you accept that invitation, you bury your future deeper in the ground. You think you are protecting yourself, but you are destroying yourself. Excuses hide in comfort. Excuses hide in fear. Excuses hide in doubt. They tell you to wait until you feel ready. They tell you to wait until the perfect moment arrives. They tell you to wait until circumstances improve, but that perfect moment will never exist, because life never clears a path for the weak. It only clears for the relentless, and excuses keep you from becoming relentless. Excuses turn years into decades. Excuses turn possibility into regret. Excuses turn power into weakness. The voice of excuses must be silenced because it never stops talking unless you force it into silence. It will rise every morning before you do. It will speak when you are tired. It will speak when you are afraid. It will speak when you are close to break through. It will always come at the exact moment you must push the hardest. That is how it survives. It convinces you to delay. It convinces you to surrender. It convinces you to stay average. And once you accept that voice, you start building a habit of quitting. Every excuse strengthens the pattern of failure until you no longer fight for anything. The world will not remember the reasons why you gave up. The world will not care about excuses you believed. The world will only see the results you created. And if you chose excuses, your results will be nothing but wasted time. The truth is, nobody has time. Everyone is tired. Everyone is busy. Everyone is afraid. But the ones who silence excuses are the ones who rise. The ones who break the cycle are the ones who create possibility. The voice of excuses says you can't. The voice of excuses says not now. The voice of excuses says it's too late. But those are lies planted to protect your weakness, when in reality you are capable now, you are powerful now, you are able now, and only action will prove it. Excuses are comfortable to believe because they remove responsibility. When you say, I can't, you no longer need to try. When you say, I don't have time, you no longer need to prioritize. When you say, I'm not ready, you no longer need to grow. But this comfort is death disguised as relief, because nothing will change and nothing will improve. The same cycle will repeat until you wake up and decide enough. The voice of excuses must be silenced with action, not with debate, not with waiting, not with thought, but with movement. Every time you feel that voice rise up, you must cut it off with a decision. You must move before it takes over. You must speak louder than it. You must command your body and your mind into alignment with your vision. Excuses cannot live in the presence of discipline. Excuses cannot survive in the fire of consistency. Excuses cannot control the one who chooses to act without hesitation. So you must train yourself to act quickly before the excuse finds its grip. You must become ruthless with excuses, as if they are enemies trying to kill your dream, because that is exactly what they are. And if you keep giving them a voice, you will silence your own potential forever. Silence the excuses and the power inside you will awaken. Silence the excuses and the path will reveal itself. Silence the excuses and you will meet the version of yourself that does not surrender. Excuses are lies comforted by fear, but fear is not a signal to stop. Fear is a compass pointing to where growth begins. Fear shows you where to step, not where to retreat. Every time you step into fear, you cut the throat of excuses. Every time you act in the face of resistance, you bury that voice deeper into the ground until it can no longer rise. The voice of excuses must be silenced today, not tomorrow, not when life is easier, not when you feel more confident, because that voice will only grow stronger the longer you wait. Every moment you allow it to speak is another moment stolen from your destiny. If you do not silence it, it will silence you. If you do not kill it, it will kill your future. There is no compromise. There is no negotiation. There is no balance. There is only war between the vision you carry and the excuses that fight to destroy it. Choose your side because your life depends on it. 3. Possibility is born through relentless struggle. Possibility is born through relentless struggle because nothing real, nothing lasting, nothing legendary is ever created without pain, without sacrifice, without resistance. The world does not hand you greatness, it demands that you bleed for it. The road to everything you dream of is paved with obstacles designed to break you, but in that breaking you are built. Struggle is the furnace that burns away weakness and reveals power. Struggle is the test that separates the willing from the wishing. Anyone can dream, but only those who fight through endless resistance can touch possibility. The soil of destiny is watered with sweat and tears. The victories that matter are never given. They are carved out of nights when everyone else sleeps, while you keep moving, days when your body screams for rest. But you refuse to quit, hours when your spirit feels crushed, but you rise again. Possibility is not born in comfort, it is born in chaos. It is born in the moments when you are pushed so far past your limits you forget what limits even mean. The struggle bends you, shapes you, and destroys the weaker version of yourself, so a stronger one can emerge. Every scar is a doorway to strength. Every failure is a foundation for resilience. Every rejection is proof that you are still in the fight. The ones who run from struggle will never see possibility, because possibility only reveals itself to those who Endure the storm. Those who step into fire, those who refuse to bow to pressure, relentless struggle is the price of transformation. It is the language that greatness understands. It is the currency of the impossible. Possibility hides behind pain because only pain can prove how much you want it. If you are not willing to be broken, you are not worthy to rise. If you are not willing to sacrifice, you will never taste victory. The world respects the relentless, the ones who keep showing up when nothing works, the ones who keep pushing when everyone else has stopped, the ones who fall 1,000 times and stand up 1,001. Every breakthrough is preceded by a season of suffering. Every mountain conquered is climbed through torn hands and tired lungs. Every triumph is written in the ink of struggle. Possibility is not an accident. It is the reward for those who refuse to surrender. And the struggle must be relentless because life will test you again and again. The moment you think you are safe, another wall will rise. The instant you feel strong, another storm will come. Relentless struggle means you fight not once, not twice, but every single day until the impossible becomes ordinary. Relentless struggle means you do not wait for things to get easier. You make yourself harder. You do not hope for lighter loads. You build stronger shoulders. You do not pray for smaller mountains. You sharpen your will until you climb higher than anyone else. Relentless struggle is what transforms doubt into faith, fear into courage, weakness into strength. Every setback is training, every pain preparation, every failure is sharpening you for the moment when possibility opens its doors. Struggle is the bridge between who you are and who you must become. There is no shortcut, there is no escape. There is no comfort zone that will deliver you to greatness. You must earn it in blood, in sweat, in relentless effort. Possibility is not kind. Possibility does not negotiate. It does not bend for those who want an easy path. It only bows to those who refuse to quit. You must be willing to pay the price again and again. When you want to stop, you must continue. When you feel broken, you must crawl. When you feel lost, you must still move forward, because relentless struggle does not ask how you feel. It asks only if you are willing. And those who are willing are the ones who discover that possibility is endless. The more you struggle, the more doors you break. The more you endure, the more paths appear. The more you push, the more the impossible begins to crumble. Relentless struggle creates unshakable belief, because when you survive what should have destroyed you, nothing can scare you again. When you keep moving through storms, you learn storms were never there to kill you. They were there to teach you. Possibility is not revealed in one victory. It is revealed in the countless unseen battles you fight with yourself, when nobody is watching, when nobody claps, when nobody believes in you. Relentless struggle makes you self-made because it teaches you to trust your own strength. It shows you that nobody else controls your future, that you are the one shaping it. Every moment you fight, every struggle you embrace, every obstacle you destroy becomes proof that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Possibility expands with each battle, because the stronger you become, the bigger your vision grows. The more relentless you are, the less fear can control you. Struggle strips away illusions and leaves only truth. The truth that you are powerful, the truth that you are limitless, the truth that you were born for more, and only through relentless struggle can that truth be revealed. Possibility is born in the moments when you should have broken, but didn't, in the nights when you should have quit but kept going, in the battles that seemed impossible until you made them possible. Relentless struggle builds legends. Relentless struggle builds history. Relentless struggle builds futures that echo far beyond your lifetime. If you want to touch possibility, you must marry struggle. You must walk hand in hand with it. You must love it, because it is the only path that leads to greatness. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a lie. The world was not changed by the comfortable. It was changed by those who embraced relentless struggle until the impossible surrendered. Possibility is waiting for you, but it demands the proof of your pain. It demands the evidence of your effort. It demands that you never stop, no matter how dark, no matter how hard, no matter how hopeless. Because hopelessness is an illusion, possibility is always there, but only the relentless can see it. Only the relentless can reach it. Only the relentless can live it. 3. Possibility is born through relentless struggle. Possibility is born through relentless struggle, because nothing real, nothing lasting, nothing legendary is ever created without pain, without sacrifice, without resistance. The world does not hand you greatness. It demands that you bleed for it. The road to everything you dream of is paved with obstacles designed to break you, but in that breaking, you are built. Struggle is the furnace that burns away Weakness and reveals power. Struggle is the test that separates the willing from the wishing. Anyone can dream, but only those who fight through endless resistance can touch possibility. The soil of destiny is watered with sweat and tears. The victories that matter are never given. They are carved out of nights when everyone else sleeps, while you keep moving, days when your body screams for rest. But you refuse to quit, hours when your spirit feels crushed, but you rise again. Possibility is not born in comfort, it is born in chaos. It is born in the moments when you are pushed so far past your limits you forget what limits even mean. The struggle bends you, shapes you, and destroys the weaker version of yourself, so a stronger one can emerge. Every scar is a doorway to strength. Every failure is a foundation for resilience. Every rejection is proof that you are still in the fight. The ones who run from struggle will never see possibility, because possibility only reveals itself to those who endure the storm, those who step into fire, those who refuse to bow to pressure. Relentless struggle is the price of transformation. It is the language that greatness understands. It is the currency of the impossible. Possibility hides behind pain, because only pain can prove how much you want it. If you are not willing to be broken, you are not worthy to rise. If you are not willing to sacrifice, you will never taste victory. The world respects the relentless, the ones who keep showing up when nothing works, the ones who keep pushing when everyone else has stopped, the ones who fall 1,000 times and stand up 1,001. Every breakthrough is preceded by a season of suffering. Every mountain conquered is climbed through torn hands and tired lungs. Every triumph is written in the ink of struggle. Possibility is not an accident, it is the reward for those who refuse to surrender. And the struggle must be relentless, because life will test you again and again. The moment you think you are safe, another wall will rise. The instant you feel strong, another storm will come. Relentless struggle means you fight not once, not twice, but every single day until the impossible becomes ordinary. Relentless struggle means you do not wait for things to get easier, you make yourself harder. You do not hope for lighter loads, you build stronger shoulders. You do not pray for smaller mountains, you sharpen your will until you climb higher than anyone else. Relentless struggle is what transforms doubt into faith, fear into courage, weakness into strength. Every setback is training, every pain is preparation, every failure is sharpening you for the moment when possibility opens its doors. Struggle is the bridge between who you are and who you must become. There is no shortcut, there is no escape. There is no comfort zone that will deliver you to greatness. You must earn it in blood, in sweat, in relentless effort. Possibility is not kind. Possibility does not negotiate. It does not bend for those who want an easy path. It only bows to those who refuse to quit. You must be willing to pay the price again and again. When you want to stop, you must continue. When you feel broken, you must crawl. When you feel lost, you must still move forward, because relentless struggle does not ask how you feel, it asks only if you are willing. And those who are willing are the ones who discover that possibility is endless. The more you struggle, the more doors you break. The more you endure, the more paths appear. The more you push, the more the impossible begins to crumble. Relentless struggle creates unshakable belief, because when you survive what should have destroyed you, nothing can scare you again. When you keep moving through storms, you learn storms were never there to kill you. They were there to teach you. Possibility is not revealed in one victory. It is revealed in the countless unseen battles you fight with yourself, when nobody is watching, when nobody claps, when nobody believes in you. Relentless struggle makes you self-made, because it teaches you to trust your own strength. It shows you that nobody else controls your future, that you are the one shaping it. Every moment you fight, every struggle you embrace, every obstacle you destroy becomes proof that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Possibility expands with each battle, because the stronger you become, the bigger your vision grows. The more relentless you are, the less fear can control you. Struggle strips away illusions and leaves only truth, the truth that you are powerful, the truth that you are limitless, the truth that you were born for more, and only through relentless struggle can that truth be revealed. Possibility is born in the moments when you should have broken, but didn't, in the nights when you should have quit, but kept going, in the battles that seemed impossible until you made them possible. Relentless struggle builds legends. Relentless struggle builds history. Relentless struggle builds futures that echo far beyond your lifetime. If you want to touch possibility, you must marry struggle. You must walk hand in hand with it. You must love it, because it is the only path that leads to greatness. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a lie. The world was not changed by the comfortable. It was changed by those who embraced relentless struggle until the impossible surrendered. Possibility is waiting for you, but it demands the proof of your pain. It demands the evidence of your effort. It demands that you never stop, no matter how dark, no matter how hard, no matter how hopeless. Because hopelessness is an illusion, possibility is always there, but only the relentless can see it, only the relentless can reach it, only the relentless can live it. For limits exist only in the mind, limits exist only in the mind because every boundary, every wall, every chain you believe is real, is nothing more than a thought you accepted as truth. The body is capable of far more than the mind allows, but the mind convinces you to stop long before you are finished. The mind whispers you can't. While your soul knows you can, the mind tells you it's impossible. While your effort proves otherwise, the greatest prison is not built of stone. It is built of doubt, fear, and excuses that live in your head. Limits are illusions created by comfort and enforced by hesitation. You are not weak, you are not small, you are not incapable, you are simply believing the lies your mind repeats. The only reason you stop is because you have been trained to believe that pain you feel is the end, when in reality it is the beginning. The moment you think you are done, you still have more inside. The moment you feel broken, there is still another step. The moment you want quit, you are only scratching the surface of your true capacity. Your mind creates imaginary ceilings to protect you, but protection is not what you need. You need expansion. You need to destroy those ceilings and rise beyond them. Limits exist only in the mind because history has proven again and again that humans are capable of the impossible. The records once thought unbreakable are now shattered. The feats once declared unreachable are now conquered. Every generation proves that what was once impossible was never a limit at all. It was only a belief, and beliefs can be changed when you decide that there are no limits. You begin to live in freedom. You begin to act in ways that terrify the average. You begin to touch a power within that most people will never discover because they never dare to challenge their mind. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who fade into mediocrity is not talent, it is not luck, it is the refusal to accept the mind's limitations. The strongest body can be defeated by a weak mind, and the weakest body can be elevated by an unstoppable mind. Because the mind decides what is possible, the body follows orders. The mind sets the walls, body obeys, but once the mind destroys the walls, the body rises beyond imagination. The only true battlefield is your thoughts. If you conquer your mind, you conquer everything. If you let your mind control you, you remain a prisoner for life. The voice that says stop is lying. The feeling that says you can't go further is lying. The thought that says this is the limb, it is lying. All of it is a cage designed to keep you safe, but safe will never make you powerful. Safe will never make you remembered. Safe will never make you alive. Limits are shattered only by those who are willing to step beyond fear, those who are willing to test themselves until their beliefs collapse, those who are willing to keep going when every signal in their brain screams to surrender. You have been living with chains that do not exist. You have been stopping at doors that were never locked. You have been bowing to walls that are made of smoke. Possibility expands the moment you stop believing in limb. It's the moment you say I can instead of I can't. The moment you act before fear convinces you to hesitate. Limits exist only in the mind, but the mind can be reprogrammed, it can be disciplined, it can be trained to push further, to endure more, to rise higher. Every day, you must teach your mind that no wall is permanent. Every day, you must stretch beyond what feels safe. Every day, you must challenge the comfort that tells you to stay small, because the more you challenge your mind, the more it bends. The more you push, the more it expands, until one day, what once felt impossible becomes easy, and what once felt terrifying becomes normal. This is how the impossible becomes possible. The chain was never real, the lock was never real, the walls were never real, they only existed because you allowed them to exist. The greatest danger is not the struggle outside, it is the battle within. The moment you conquer the mind, the outside world has no power over you. The storms cannot break you, the failures cannot stop you, the obstacles cannot hold you, because you no longer see them as barriers. You see them as illusions. You see them as steps. You see them as training. The ones who rise above the rest are not superhuman, they are simply those who stopped believing in limb. They are the ones who saw the wall and ran through it, the ones who felt the pain and kept moving, the ones who refused to let the mind control the body and chose instead to command the mind to obey. Their will. You must understand the prison you are living in is self-made. The doors are open, the key is in your hand, but your mind convinces you to stay seated. Your mind convinces you to stay quiet. Your mind convinces you to remain average, but you were not created to live average. You were created to expand, to create, to dominate. to inspire, and none of that will happen until you destroy the belief that there are limits. You must rip the word impossible out of your vocabulary. You must burn the idea of can't out of your system. You must decide that you will not be bound by the illusions of the mind limb. It exists only in the mind, and once the mind is free, everything becomes possible. The chains break, the walls crumble, ceilings vanish, the power that has been buried inside you bursts out, and nothing in this world can hold it back. You will realize you were never small, you were never weak, you were never powerless, you were only trapped in a lie. And when that lie dies, you are reborn into a life with no boundaries and no limits. 5. Regret is the real pain, not effort. Regret is the real pain, not effort, because effort hurts for a moment, but regret cuts for a lifetime. The burn of hard work fades, the sting of sacrifice disappears, but the wound of regret never heals. Effort demands sweat, but regret demands your soul. Effort will exhaust you, but regret will empty you. Effort pushes you to grow, but regret forces you to shrink. Effort makes you tired today, but regret makes you broken tomorrow. When you give your all, you may feel pain, but when you give nothing, you feel nothing but shame. Regret is heavier than failure. Regret is sharper than rejection. Regret is darker than fear, because regret is the voice that whispers every night, you could have been more, you should have tried harder, you wasted your chance. The body recovers from effort, but the mind never recovers from regret. You can lift weight until your muscles tear and rebuild stronger, but you cannot rebuild wasted years. You cannot fix missed opportunities. You cannot rewind time to change a decision you avoided. Effort is temporary, but regret is permanent. Effort leaves scars that tell a story of courage. Regret leaves emptiness that tells a story of surrender. Every drop of sweat is worth more than decades of wondering. What if every hour of struggle is worth more than a lifetime of comfort that leads to regret? The pain of effort makes you proud, but the pain of regret makes you hollow. Regret is not loud, it is silent, but it follows you everywhere. It appears when you see others achieving what you could have achieved. It rises when you watch someone living the life you once dreamed of. It stabs when you realize the only thing that stopped you was your own hesitation. Effort never betrays you, because even if you fail, you grow. Even if you lose, you learn. Even if you break, you rise. But regret betrays you every time, because it reminds you of what you never dared to do. The world is full of people living with regret, walking with smiles, but carrying invisible chains, saying they are fine but dying inside, because they know they chose comfort over effort, they chose excuses over action, they chose fear over courage. Regret is the enemy of peace, because it steals joy from the present. Regret keeps you trapped in the past and paralyzed for the future. Regret is the weight of wasted potential, and nothing is heavier than knowing you had one chance at life, and you wasted it. The pain of effort is clean, it is honest, it is proof that you tried, but the pain of regret is dirty, it is poison, it spreads through your heart, your mind, your soul, until you no longer believe you are capable. Regret convinces you to settle for less, it convinces you that your chance is gone, it convinces you that you are too late, but effort convinces you that you are alive, it convinces you that you are worthy, it convinces you that you can always grow. Regret is worse than any failure, because failure can be redeemed, but regret cannot. Failure gives you another chance. Regret steals the chance completely. When you choose effort, you may be tired, but you sleep with pride. When you choose regret, you may be rested, but you wake with pain. The strongest people are not those who avoided pain. They are the ones who embraced effort, so they would never taste regret. They chose the struggle, they chose the sacrifice, they chose the discomfort, because they understood the real enemy was not pain, it was regret. The fear of pain keeps most people from trying, but the truth is the pain they are running from is nothing compared to the pain they will face later when they realize they wasted their time. Time is ruthless, it never stops, it never returns. Once it is gone forever, and regret is born in the graveyard of wasted time. Effort demands you face discomfort now, but regret demands you face despair forever. If you must choose pain, choose effort. If you must suffer, suffer through growth, not through regret, because effort will reward you with strength, confidence, and progress, but regret will punish you with doubt, emptiness, and self-hate. Imagine yourself at the end of your life, looking back. Would you rather say, I gave everything I had, or I never tried at all? Would you rather be covered in scars of effort or covered in wounds of regret? Scars inspire people, regret warns them. Scars tell the story of a fighter, regret tells the story of a quitter. Scars are beautiful, regret is ugly. Effort builds legacy, regret buries it. Regret is the real pain, not effort, because effort is proof of life, but regret is proof of death. Effort creates possibility, but regret destroys it. Effort shapes who you become, but regret erases who you could have been. Every great person you admire is covered in effort. Every broken person you pity is covered in regret. You must decide which pain you will carry, because pain is guaranteed, but the type of pain is your choice. Choose the pain that strengthens, not the pain that weakens. Choose the pain that elevates, not the pain that suffocates. Choose the pain of effort, so you never have to taste the poison of regret. There is no escape from pain, but there is freedom in choosing the right one. Effort hurts, but regret haunts. Effort tests you, but regret torments you. Effort is temporary, but regret is eternal. The real pain is not sweat. The real pain is not struggle. The real pain is not failure. The real pain is standing in front of the mirror years later, knowing you betrayed yourself when you had the power to rise, when you had the chance to fight, when you had the time to build, but you didn't. Regret will scream louder than any failure. Regret will follow you longer than any rejection. Regret will bury you deeper than any effort ever could. And once regret owns you, there is no way back. But right now, there is still time to choose right. Now there is still time to fight. Right now, there is still time to pick effort and kill regret before regret kills you. 6. Push until the impossible bows down. Push until the impossible bows down, because the word impossible is nothing more than a mask worn by fear, a disguise placed over untested potential, a wall built of doubt that was never meant to be permanent. You were not created to bow before limits. You were created to make limits bow before you. The impossible is not a barrier. It is an invitation. It is life asking, how badly do you want this? It is destiny asking, will you break or will you rise? The impossible stands tall to intimidate you, but when you keep pushing, it has no choice but to collapse. Impossible is not defeated in one strike. It is crushed through persistence. It is broken through repeated blows. It is destroyed by the one who refuses to surrender, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much it hurts. The impossible bows only to relentless hearts and unshakable spirits. The impossible does not bow to excuses. It does not bow to fear. It does not bow to weakness. It bows only to those who outlast it, those who are willing to stay in the fight longer than anyone else, those who are willing to be the last one standing when everyone else has already walked away. The impossible bows to the ones who show up day after day, even when results are invisible, even when progress feels slow, even when nothing seems to change. The impossible bows to the one who says, I will not quit. Impossible bows to the one who keeps swinging even when their hands are bleeding. The impossible bows to the one who keeps climbing even when their body is breaking. Push until the impossible bows down. Because if you stop early, you will never know how close you were. If you stop early, you give power to the lie that it cannot be done. If you stop early, you make the impossible permanent. But if you keep going, if you keep moving, if you keep pushing, you will realize that the impossible was never real. It was only resistance waiting for you to prove yourself. It was only a test waiting for you to pass. The impossible is stubborn, but it is not undefeatable. It wants to see if you are stronger than your excuses. It wants to see if your desire is greater than your fear. It wants to see if your spirit is tougher than your pain. And the moment you refuse to bend, the moment you refuse to break, the impossible begins to weaken. The impossible bows when you show it that you cannot be intimidated. Impossible bows when you stare it in the face and say, you will not move me. I will move you. The impossible bows when you carry on through storms, when you carry on through tears, when you carry on through failures. The impossible bows when you turn pain into fuel, when you turn rejection into determination, when you turn struggle into fire. Push until the impossible bows down, because the world was never changed by those who accepted limitations. It was changed by those who defied them. It was changed by those who refused to listen when others said it cannot be done. It was changed by those who risked ridicule, risked failure, risked everything to force the impossible into reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every revolution was once declared impossible until someone came along who would not stop pushing. Every record broken, every mountain climbed, every dream fulfilled was once thought untouchable until someone decided to push harder, longer, and further than anyone before. Impossible bows to the obsessed. It bows to the disciplined. It bows to the fearless. It bows to the one who says, I will keep fighting until the impossible has no choice but to surrender. The impossible bows when you put everything on the line, when you sacrifice comfort, when you sacrifice safety, when you sacrifice ease for the sake of destiny. The impossible bows when you keep moving forward with nothing left inside except willpower. The impossible bows when you transform your pain into power when you transform your doubt into drive, when you transform your weakness into weapons, push until the impossible bows down, because your life is proof that impossible can be defeated. You are standing here today because generations before you pushed through there. They endured wars, poverty, rejection, and suffering, yet they did not bow. They forced there to surrender, and because of their fight, you now stand free. Your turn has come. Your battle is here. Your impossible is waiting, and it will not bow until you push. You cannot negotiate with the impossible. You cannot reason with it. You cannot beg it to move. It will only bow to persistence. It will only bow to sacrifice. It will only bow to unrelenting courage. Push until the impossible bows down, because there is no glory in surrender. There is no honor in quitting. There is no pride in settling. But there is unshakable power in saying, I refuse to give up. There is victory in breaking what was once unbreakable. There is immortality in doing what others thought could not be done. The impossible will test you. It will stretch you. It will crush you again and again. But if you remain, if you endure, if you rise, the impossible will fall to its knees, and you will stand tall. The impossible is not your master. It is your servant. It was placed in front of you not to destroy you, but to shape you, not to end you, but to reveal you, not to stop you, but to build you. Push until the impossible bows down, because the day will come when it will, and when it does, the world will change, your life will change, your soul will change, and you will finally understand that impossible never existed. It was always waiting for you to make it bow.